come out with its decision that happened at around 3 p.m. this afternoon, where the court said that in fact the Ayodhya title lawsuit verdict will be deferred. Now this happened, like we said, around 3 p.m. Let's bring you the highlights of what was said in court. Now, several things are talked about as far as the judges go in that courtroom. They said that they should make a last-ditch attempt here to even look at a 1% chance in case there is any sort of option available for a compromise to be reached. So that was one of the things that the court said. Now, important to mention that the judges deferred as far as coming to that decision goes. Let's get you those observations. The Supreme Court saying that they will in fact look at even that 1% chance to make sure that if there was a possibility here of reconciliation between the two parties, it should be given. Consequences for people, not for the petitioners, is what the court said. The Supreme Court said a judgment will harden the parties, so give negotiations a chance. Though one of the judges felt the plea to defer should be dismissed, he bowed to the other judge's wish. Now, speculation rife on what will happen in 5 days from now. The lawyer for the petitioner, who wants this deferment, has promised to keep up the demand for the matter to be further postponed.
The Supreme Court was conscious of the fact that one of the judges of the full bench of the High Court is retiring at the end of the month. It is for this reason that the matter has been kept for 28th of September. See, on 28th, we will on behalf of the petitioner, the applicant in the Supreme Court, again try and tell the court that the matter of judgment should be deferred. Parties should be asked to sit together, maybe with the good offices of other senior responsible people in the community, maybe religious leaders, maybe political leaders, maybe national leaders.
जजमेंट सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने स्टे कर दिया है. अब जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट का स्टे वेकेट होगा तभी जजमेंट आएगा. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आर्डर है.
That was the lawyer from representing the Waqf board. Let's now head across live to Anurag. He's joining us with more from Lucknow. Anurag, if you could give us a sense of what the parties are saying there.
See, as far as the two main parties involved in this title suit row, their opinion is concerned, one thing is quite clear, that they are not ready to any kind of compromise formula. I mean, going by the statement of Jafra Jilani, who is Council of Sunni Central Waqf Board, he clearly said that this case is pending in court since quite a long time. It's more than it's almost 60 years now, and many rounds of talks were held between the two parties concerned. Many top politicians as well as 3 chief ministers also were involved in talks, but nothing came out of these talks. So clearly he said that he doubts that anything will come out in next 5 days, and he said that let the court come out with a verdict, whichever party loses has the option to approach Supreme Court, and let it be like that. He said that he is quite of the opinion that no talks are going to help this issue. At the same time, the representative of Ram Janambhoomi Nyas and Virajman, they are also of the same opinion. They said that the matter has been dragged into court for such a long time. Many rounds of talks were ahead, but nothing has happened. So clearly, it's a kind of deadlock which seems at this point in time. Until these two parties relent, they become a little bit flexible. I personally feel that it will be quite an uphill task for the court to settle this issue.
And that's the question many people are asking tonight. What can really change in the next couple of days, the next 5 days? Thanks very much indeed. That was Anurag joining us from Lucknow with that input. Now, staying with what happened in the court today, it's important to tell you that there were 2 judges here looking at this deferment plea. Well, we had 2 different opinions, 2 judges with 2 different opinions. You had Justice Ravendra, for example. He had one opinion. He wanted a deferment petition dismissed. But for that matter, the other judge wanted it to be taken into consideration, because he said that there could be a settlement option actually explored. Finally, what happened, of course, it was the judge in charge, who was put in charge of this, decided to go the traditional route and say that, yes, since his colleague or his brother judge in this case decided to look at that option of perhaps exploring a possibility of a settlement, let's go with that, give this some more time, and that was the final call mailed. Let's now come back to the newsroom here because Diptosh Majumdar, our news director, joins us live with his perspective on things here. 5 days given, we saw a bit of drama in the court as well. Give us your take on what happened earlier today.
Well, what is happening right now, we are seeing two different sets of views coming out from the legal community. First, we have lawyers, eminent lawyers like Ram Jethmalani, Soli Surabji, who are pointing out how can what 5 days really do what 60 years of litigation has not been able to achieve. There are others like the litigant lawyer for the litigant, who's insisting that a lot can be done, that there are other considerations which has to be borne in mind at this point of time, that there are floods in this country, that the CWG games are in a mess, and the government has security arrangements to make. So obviously these are considerations which are weighing much more on the government at this point of time, and this is not the time to secure the country for a verdict of this nature, of this importance throughout the country. We know that states have already gone into a really secure mode. They started taking many arrangements. Karnataka government had actually given holidays and declared holidays in schools. So all these arrangements had been made. Basically, 5 days is a strange kind of a judgment which many lawyers are stating at this point of time.
Right, we'll have some more legal opinions up ahead. Diptosh, thanks very much for joining us with Editor's Take at 8. Let's remind you, though, what's coming up in a couple of minutes from now.